Ralph, why is this screen not moving? What's going on there? That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be in constant motion, like everything. Friday, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. We have made it through a hell of a week. The worst week of all time. No, I'm just kidding. It was an okay week. Oh, this is the one I really like right here. This is the new one I really like. What up, everyone? Sorry I am late. I had to restart my computer. I was going to be like 5 minutes late to begin with, but then I had to restart my computer because it was fucking up. And I knew the stream was going to be compromised if I didn't restart my computer. So you're welcome. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do. Helps me out tremendously, especially early on in the stream's life cycle. Yo, Sidebias, what's your mile time? I don't know, like 3 minutes and 45 seconds, something like that. NBA basketball is back. That is right. I didn't get a noti. I don't know, man. My strike expires, I think, this upcoming week. So maybe that has something to do with the weird notification stuff. It's possible. So a lot to talk about today. Mavs practiced. I watched all of it. It actually might still be on right now. I don't know. But I watched the main part of it. And, man, they look good. Like, you guys know that I've been very optimistic about this team. But there's just something about the practice today. They looked good. Like, they looked great. I loved what I saw. You know what I mean? And it goes beyond, like, being a super big optimist. Like, they just look good. I love the vibes. I'm a big believer in vibes, by the way. I never really thought I was until recently. I'm a big believer in that kind of shit. Like, it's not something you can really measure, and it is kind of a cop-out. When you're like, why do you believe in the Mavs so much? Or why do you believe in Jane Hardy so much? I don't know, vibes. Like, that's really it. Are we having a mic'd up practice tomorrow like the Sixers had today? We had that today, Cred. That was this morning. It was on NBA app.
Josh is playing too. Josh balling.
Hey, what's that? What we got?
McKinley Wright's rebound that he got.
Oh yeah. And the push.
Yeah, Josh is playing too. Josh balling.
Hey,
Josh is balling. You hear that, kid? Josh is balling. Josh Green was easily the highlight of the Mavs practice today. That was on the NBA app. He was incredible. Incredible. Luka, by the way, is slim. Like, I know that I have been very anti-Luka Weight Watch, but he's been slim. Like, he looks very slim. He looks legitimately in shape. Much, much better than he looked at this time a year ago, for sure. But Josh Green looked amazing, man. He was knocking down every corner three. He had a couple of tough and ones off the dribble. A couple of tough layups, too. Some really nice drives. It looked really good for Josh Green. And I'm really excited by that.
Good job. Hey, while we're tired, let's talk. Turn the music down or turn it off. Okay. One thing, right? If things aren't going well, what tends to happen? We stop talking, all right? Someone told me to stop talking, right? I respect that, and I did. understand something. The other side of it, when we're down, right, things aren't going well offensively, what tends to happen? Rush or don't trust, right? We break the system and we try to do it ourselves, right? And I'm just using it as an example. White, what did you do? Play together, right? So then when we don't score for blue, right, a couple times, now we go, shit, I'm going to do it myself, right? How are we built? Team, right? It's not just one person, right? Just understand, I'm using this as an example. There's no names to this, right? Understand this is how we get better. All right, good job today. Let's go.
It was a good practice. And okay, a couple of things, right? You don't want to look too deep into a practice. Josh Green looked incredible. Looked very confident. That's always been my thing with Josh Green. Confidence. He looked very confident in a practice setting. Mavs guard Josh Green is having a really good training camp. Credits working with Kyle Lowry at Impact Basketball this summer for a lot of his progress. That's pretty nice. That is a great guy to work with. I'm trying to see if there's any highlights of him. We'll talk about Jaden Hardy here in a second because I liked a lot of what I saw from him too. But I think Josh Green looked really good. A lot to be excited about. Like, if Josh Green can just knock down the three, which he was knocking down the three. Does my computer, not yours. Green with the Lowry dumpy? My God, he'd take over the league. NBA Sports tab with a picture of Bertans as a thumbnail for the Wizards versus Warriors game recap. Yeah, the Wizards and Warriors play today. So preseason is underway. Like, it's here. We got our first preseason NBA game has started. The time has come. NBA is back. I did not watch that game. I know Wiseman went off. I'm going to watch that game after the stream's over. If I can. You can rewatch preseason games on League Pass, right? I hope so. Let me tweet out that I'm live. So we're going to go over the Mavs practice. A lot of things that I liked. Starting today's stream, the only way possible. A lot to talk about today. Get the hell in here right now. Wiseman look better than I expected, even if it's preseason. I'll need to watch. You guys know from the expansion draft, me not protecting Wiseman for the Warriors. I'm kind of a Wiseman hater. Not a hater, but it's just Warriors fans annoy the fuck out of me, man. I'm sorry. What am I I'm pressing. Yeah. Jane Hardy's going to win Rookie of the Year. Hey, you said it, not me. Josh Green's having a breakout season out of nowhere would be a nice surprise. I wouldn't say it's out of nowhere. It wouldn't necessarily be out of nowhere. A lot of us know exactly what it is Josh Green needs to do. Luka Doncic on Josh Green. This is going to be his year. He's even more ready. He's in better shape. He's ready to take another step, maybe even a few steps. A lot of this is just Luka's interviews are kind of boring. And it's nothing against Luka. It's just he's very media trained. You know? He's incredibly media trained. He knows exactly what to say. He's not going to stir the pot. You guys go gas up this tweet. Let the world know we're live. I can barely move my arms. If you guys can tell, yes, I have been lifting weights. You guys probably could tell, right? I've been in the gym over the past 2 days. Noticeable gains. But I could barely fucking lift my arms, man. Green really is just a somewhat consistent jump shot away from being a great piece, to be honest. Yeah, he's a consistent jump shot, at least a corner three away from having a very long NBA career. Like, that's really it. It's not like it's not like this needs to go right, this needs to go right, this needs to go right, this needs to go right. It's really just the jump shot. And anything beyond that will turn him into a legitimately good player. Josh Green said he's gone back and watched his playoff film many times, even if he didn't want to, but he's using it as motivation. I love to hear shit like this. I really do. Yeah, it does sound familiar. Brunson was so bad in that series against the Clippers, and he did use that as a motivating factor. We're going to have to get a Jaden Hardy cam. Maybe that's something I work on. Definitely before the season starts, especially before the first preseason game. I need to have a Jaden Hardy cam ready to go. We're only, Wednesday is the first Mavericks preseason game. And I expect, I don't know if we'll see Luka. I know Steph played today for the Warriors. Oh, fuck, I just bit my tongue. I wonder how much of that, though, is them being in Japan. And, they want to put on a show. Clay didn't play. So I'm wondering how much Luka we see in the preseason, but I'm assuming we're gonna get a pretty heavy dose of like Josh Green, Frank, Jaden Hardy. That's what I'm really interested in. And Jaden Hardy, man, ooh, he's gonna be good. I like what I see from him. I just do. I think the team has a lot of faith, a lot of confidence in him. What's up, Sally? Off today for my birthday. Actually able to catch the live stream. What up, Squiggly? Happy birthday, man. Here's a birthday present for you. We'll get off the, okay, no transition. This is by far my favorite moment of the practice. So if you guys missed the practice, this was a drill they were running, a high pick and roll. Guards and bigs. Jaden Hardy going up against Maxey. Getting a crazy tough and one. Oh, disgusting. And look at the hype after. This is what I'm saying. Right, the hype with Jaden, the vibes with Jaden Hardy is through the roof. Look at everybody. Look at the team. Look at Jaden Hardy. Tell me there's just not something. I don't know what it is. It's just something in the way that Jaden Hardy has handled himself. Right, the way that. I mean, this is a disgusting move. Against one of the best defenders in the NBA, too. Maxi Kleber. Disgusting. Look at everyone. Josh is going to be this... All right. Nope. Pause. Take the fucking song off the playlist. Remove. I don't want to hear talking. Remove from playlist. See ya. I'm trying to talk and put on an incredible show, and I hear in my background, feels so sweet. Why is the chat not working? I mean, I see y'all's chat over here, but it usually goes up there. Oh, there it goes. No jab to Brunson, but I think Hardy will be better offensively because he's bigger. I can't. Jalen Brunson's a very good offensive player. So if Jaden Hardy is better than him offensively, then yeah, that would be insane. Nico Harrison on rookie. Jaden Hardy, he's a dynamic scorer. He can handle the ball. He can flat out score the ball, but you want him to learn that. When to score the ball. When to pick his spots. It's true, yeah. Just made tea and found out I ain't got no sugar. That's why I need to make a coffee run, guys. I've been really trying with Dunkin'. Okay, let me give you guys a little brief update here on my coffee, my coffee journey. I'm not gonna lie, I don't spend money on a lot. Coffee is one of the things I spend money on. I don't give a shit. I'll pay $5 a day for a cup of coffee that I really like. I don't care. I know that it's probably bad spending, right? I know the fucking boomers. I know boomers will say this is why I'll never own a house. I don't really give a shit. Okay? I don't really care. I enjoy it. There's not much. I gotta... I gotta take what I can get. And if it's a cup of coffee, then it's a cup of coffee. Dunkin' has really been... Dunkin' has really been creeping up. But man... lately, I just don't know. Dutch Bros... Here's my thing about Dutch Bros. Here's what I compare Dutch Bros to, right? I compare Starbucks... If I had to compare a coffee chain... to an NBA player, I compare Starbucks to LeBron, right? It's the best, but it's expensive, but it's just the best. It is what it is. I compare Duncan to like a Kawhi Leonard. It's a lot quieter, but it goes about its business. I compare Dutch Bros to like a Kyrie Irving. There's just a lot fucking going on. Sometimes I just want a normal ass coffee. I don't want sprinkles and maple syrup inside of my coffee sometimes. Right? Sometimes it's cool. It's a nice little, treat. Right? The same way Kyrie, like he puts on a show from time to time, and sometimes it's cool, but a lot of times it's just a lot going on. That's how I feel about Dutch Bros. Are you going to watch Scoot and Wimby play in a few days? Yes. Blue Tortoise Sports, thanks for subscribing. Anyways. Here we go. Here's what's been going on. Bibbs, here's what he thinks. Josh Green stock up. Agreed. Hardy stock up. You guys know I was already super high on Hardy and Josh Green. So for me, we're riding. We're holding steady. I couldn't find any Josh Green highlights. Frank Ntilikina stock down. Yeah, he looked terrible. McKinley Wright stock up. Yeah, he actually looked pretty good. He's just really small. I don't know. I don't know if like this team needs like if this team has like a small guard quota. If it does, he's probably gonna make the team or at least get a contract of some sort. But he's like 5'11". He looked pretty good though. I'll give him that. Frank did not look great. Today's practice concerned me a teeny tiny bit. A teeny tiny bit. In regards to Frank's ability to man the second unit. Homemade coffee is the best once you find that perfect mix. I used to have a cheap French press, like a $10 one, and I fucking hated it. So then I thought, all right, maybe I just need to buy an expensive French press. I bought like a $70, $80 one, and I still hated it. I don't know what it is, man. I have spoiled myself, and it is what it is. If I spend $5 a day on coffee and it makes me happy, so be it. Christian Wood stock down. It was a little bit concerning, right? I'm not going to. I don't know how much I want to look into it, but there was some concerning stuff. He looked not good. JaVale McGee stock should be up too, by the way. JaVale McGee stock should be going up as well. Yeah, here was the thing. There was I don't remember which assistant was. Was it Sweeney or was it St. Jean? I don't remember. But one of the assistants was like, hey, Christian Wood's been telling me, like you could hear it on Jason Kidd's mic because Jason Kidd was mic'd up the whole practice. You could hear it. He was like, hey, Christian Wood's like, not begging. This isn't verbatim. Christian Wood's pretty much begging to go in and get some reps of the 5. And people on Maps are like, oh, here we go. Oh, is that really that bad? Like, is it really that bad for a guy to want to get some reps at the 5? I don't mind that at all. I will say, though, he didn't look very good on practice. He looked pretty disinterested. He looked pretty disinterested. Mavs practice takeaways. Josh Green looks good. He does. Jane Hardy at pick 31 was a steal. Was. Luka is still Luka? Obviously, yeah. JaVale Maxey looked like a solid interior defender. I really liked how JaVale looked. Like, he just had a dominating presence. It was just something about it. When they were running the scrimmages, right? When they were running their 5-on-5. First and foremost, man, the Mavs really have no excuse not to run more. I think it's a Luka thing. Yeah, it wasn't pick 31, but you guys get the point. It was a really, like, they have so many shooters. You have JaVale McGee, who's good in transition. You have Josh Green, who's good in transition. You have Luka, who's one of the best passers in the NBA. There's no reason why they shouldn't be running in transition more. And every time they did it in practice, it was like Reggie Block wide open kick out, corner 3. Like it looked so good. They need to do it more. They really do. They're the slowest paced NBA team. Luka's a fatty. He does not like to run. Luka does not look fat. Like this is the MVP Luka year. It has to be. He looks very much in shape. I don't think it's impossible he averages 10 assists this year. It wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't. I think Dinwiddie's going to have a big year, too. Everybody's hyping him up. Like, everybody on the team is talking him up. We'll see what happens when you start seeing the difference between the Rockets culture and winning culture. I mean, like I've been saying, if it's December, January, February, and we're hearing stuff like, hey, Christian Wood's, like, angry at practice or doing this, that's when it's really time to be like, all right, do we, like, just dump him somewhere and get rid of it? But until that point, I'm not going to look too deep into it. Just gonna be honest with you. That was a very fun 2 hours. That was a blast. I know the Sixers had one yesterday, right? Christian Wood getting shots up with Dorian Finney-Smith and Tyler Dorsey. Tyler Dorsey was kind of a no-show. I didn't really notice much from him. Christian Wood hit a couple of threes. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is just, there's just some guy. If you guys have ever played team sports, you know, there's always like these guys that just have, there's just like their body language and stuff. Sometimes it's just, it looks like they don't give a shit, but they do. Does that make sense? That's just how some guys carry themselves. Like some guy, that's just how they naturally move around. Sorry, I had to eat a banana, and there's no fucking way I'm doing that on stream. I hate eating on stream. This kid wants to replicate the 1920 Lakers. I went deeper into this thought experiment with Austin and Dave on this week's 77 Minutes. That's pretty interesting. Glizzy Gobbler. Listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with eating a fucking hot dog or a banana. All right, if you think something's weird with eating a hot dog or a banana, I think that's weird of you. But I just don't like eating it on camera. It's eating on camera. Yeah, the 1920 Lakers. Yeah. The OnlyFans accounts where I'm eating my bananas. Okay. Give that banana. Man, you guys are something else. Vogel will be an assistant coach and we'll be champs. I love that Vogel's at the practices. I really do. Mavs are clearly trying to mimic the Lakers. That team was really fucking good. That championship Lakers team was amazing. They just played such a good brand of basketball, too. Now, I don't know if we have the same quality defenders, and obviously, you're reaching a little bit with the AD and Christian Wood parallels, but I see what he means, though. I think Christian Wood may come off the bench for about 15, 20 games. All right, these are old tweets. Old tweets. Anyways, I thought it was a good practice. They look good. I'm really bought into this team. Like, I really am. I'm really, really bought into what this team is bringing to the table this year. I think you have good defenders on your roster. You have quite possibly the best player in the NBA. And you got a bunch of guys who are willing to prove themselves and who are needing to prove themselves. I always love having guys like that on my teams. It's always a good thing to have guys who have something to play for. In Christian Wood's case, it's a contract. It's sort of fighting back against this narrative, I guess, that you're not a winning player. You want to get a big contract in the offseason, no matter who it's from. I really don't think it's the Mavericks. I'll just come out and I'll say this right now. Like, I think Christian Wood is a one-year Mav. That's just how I feel. But I hope it's a good year. I really do. I hope he gets a huge bag from somebody, not the Mavericks. I hope he gets a huge bag from somebody in the offseason because he played really well this year. I don't know what it is. I just don't think I don't see a second contract coming for him. But you got a really good center in JaVale McGee. Like, JaVale McGee is going to feast. JaVale McGee is going to feast in the pick and roll of Luka. It's going to be disgusting. And there are plenty of plays like it today. I mean, Luka in the pick and roll, it doesn't even look like it's there. Like, Luka will throw up a lob, and you'll be like, that's a bad, like, that's covered really well. And then it's just in the perfect spot. It really is insane. It's insane how fucking good he is. And also, Jason Kidd, hilarious. Jason Kidd after every play. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Luka whips a pass across the court. Oh, shit. Did you guys notice that? Any of you who were watching? What is a one-year rental? They are treating him as such. I kind of agree. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying that as like, I don't want Christian Wood on the team. That's just the way it feels to me. But it was a nice season. Maybe they use him in a sign and trade. Yeah, maybe. Definitely. Okay. So that's how I feel about the Mavs. We also had a trade yesterday in the NBA. Also, there is Mavs fan jam tomorrow. I do plan on going. That should be fun. Oh, did Shams not... Was Shams not the one who broke that massive trade yesterday? If Nico finds a way to use Christian Wood in a sign and trade and brings a real star to the Mavs... See, that's interesting because... What if Christian Wood has a good season this year? Can you sign and trade a player for another sign and trade player? You can't do that, right? Sally, my girl just broke up with me. Give me some words of encouragement. Glow, if you're in this chat, I already know. 1, great looking guy. 2, hilarious. 3, great personality. Okay? You're going to go out and you're going to find yourself a winner. I promise you that. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be next week. But you're going to find yourself a winner one day. So keep your head up high. All right? I know it's going to suck. The coming weeks are going to suck. But the game's the game. And you'll be back on top of your game in no time. Trey Burke's going to be a Mav again in 2 weeks. Rockets did trade away all the Mavs legend. You going to meet up with some of the Mavs Twitter tomorrow? I'm just going. We'll see what happens. Has anybody been to Fan Jam before? I've never been. Do they sell beer there? It's Saturday, man. I've had a long week. Free agent. Oh, yeah. Blake Griffin goes to the... Celtics. Interesting. A lot of people thought Melo was a prime Celtics destination. Slightly, my girl and I are trying to have a kid. What should I name him or her? If it's him, name him Zeltron. If it's a her, name her Xenorph. Here's the trade. Very interesting. Slagathor, yeah, name her that. That's a good one. Here's the trade. Oklahoma City Thunder is hitting Derek Favors, Ty Jerome, Mo Harkless, Theo Mal. I honestly didn't even know. I didn't even know Mo Harkless was on the Thunder. I must have missed that. A 2025 second round pick. For David Nwaba, Sterling Brown, Trey Burke, Marquise Chris. So, yes, 3 Mavs legends. So, who's the only one left? Is it Boban the only one left? Right? I really don't understand this trade at all. Like, I'm looking at it. And who is the best player in this trade? Who's the best player in this trade at this point? I mean, I know Nwaba's a locker room guy. Ty Jerome, I guess? But they're waiving Ty Jerome. I have no idea what the fucking point of this trade was. I literally still... It's funny because at my softball game last night, I'm on a softball team with a Thunder fan and a Rockets fan. And that trade like got announced during the game. And they were like, I don't know what's going on. Favors is making like 10 mil, 15 mil, something like that. I think he's on the last year, though. Oh, also, this is very off topic, but it just popped up here. Overwatch 2 comes out in a few days. Anybody playing that? I played the shit out of Overwatch 1. And I know that Overwatch 2 has gotten a lot of flack, but I'm definitely going to play it. It's free, too, right? Yeah, 10 million a year for Derek Favors is really nothing. Last year of his deal. Cap-centric deal for both teams. Thunder gain 2 trade exceptions and drop about 10 million under luxury tax. So there you go. Rockets get a second-round pick for taking on 1 million in salary. Yeah, there you go. Favors will have values in backup center or elsewhere on a trade and marketplace too. So nothing really crazy, like not a big trade, but still. Favors is getting bought out. Oh, I must have missed that part. I know they're waiving Ty Jerome. That's what I saw. But I wasn't refreshing my timeline after this trade. I'll tell you that much. Okay, I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of today's stream. We're going to go through each and every team, do a best and worst case scenario for each and every team. And not like the lame shit you'll see here. What's the worst case scenario for the Hawks? Trae Young gets injured. Okay, what's the worst case scenario for the Celtics? Jason Tatum gets injured. What's the worst case? Like, I'm not going to do that. It's going to be realistic ones. No, Beaumont is still there. I saw something that basically all the players going to OKC will get bought out. Well, there you go. I mean, I don't know. This isn't like a groundbreaking trade. Trey Burke back on the Mavs. Stint number 3. Would you even count this as a third stint, or would it just be a continuation of last year? Because they could actually sign him back, right? If a player gets traded and then bought out, he can re-sign with a team, right? That he just played for. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I mean, I don't think we would do it, but something to keep your mind on. Also, before we start, let's just address it, man. It's insane to me that all these former Mavs are getting released from the worst team in the league, yet they are part of the Mavs Western Conference Finals run. Why I feel like Luka was on other stacked teams, he wins a chip. I mean, let's not pretend like any of these guys had any impact on that playoff run at all. These guys like Marquise Chris, Sterling Brown, like they were okay in the COVID stretch when everybody had COVID, but these guys were not like huge impact players on the Mavericks. I don't think any, like, outside of absolute garbage time, these guys did not play a single meaningful minute in the playoffs. I think Trey Burke actually had some meaningful minutes, right? If memory serves correctly. Wasn't there like a game against the Jazz or something where he was like playing at the start of the fourth quarter? Yeah, I watched the practice, John. We were just talking about it. Those are guys taking up seats and was waving towels during the playoffs, and that was it. Yeah, I mean, good chemistry, guys. I mean, Sterling Brown standing on the sideline. Sterling Brown standing on the sideline with his fucking jersey on is still hilarious to me. You know? Like anytime they would show the bench and Sterling Brown was standing there and the, like his warm-up jacket was off and it was just him with the sweatpants and his jersey on. That shit always cracked me up. It was hilarious. Where can I watch the practice? It was just on the NBA app. I don't know if you can go back and watch it, but you can go back and watch preseason games on League Pass, right? Because I plan on doing that with the with the game from earlier this morning, just to see what Wiseman was talking about. Wait, was this really said? I never know with these Mavs Nation fucking accounts. I never know. Yes, you can rewatch your practice. Sixers practices on the app in full. All right, if you guys didn't watch it, I highly recommend it. I'm pretty sure it's free, right? Is League Pass expensive? Well, if you got NBA 2K, you got it for free, right? They're actually lowering the price of League Pass this year. If you like basketball, I highly recommend it. Like, it's just gonna be worth your money. You can watch every single game unless you're blacked out, of course. Like, I can't watch Mav. It sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they can make it way better. Like, since I live in Dallas, I can't watch Mavs games on League Pass. I have to watch it on fucking Bally Sports. And then to make things worse, I have to wait 3 full days before I can rewatch a Mavs game. That's the dumbest shit. Like, that, I don't understand that one. If you have NBA 2K, you have League Pass for free. I have NBA 2K. That's the first time hearing this. It was like a promotion. I think you had to get the $100 version or something. Why are they blacked out? It's a regional TV thing. It's like that for every sport. Like MLB, I don't know, extra innings, right? You can't watch your local team. That's just the way that it is. It's not going to be like that forever, for sure. Like, the tides are definitely shifting. They would make a ton of money if they offered, you know, Dallas people like, hey, you don't want cable? All right, pay X amount of dollars. You can watch the Mavs every game. Do you get Bally Sports Plus? I don't know. I bum a cable subscription. Like I bum a cable subscription login. So sports got to change that. It will. Like the thing is, they make so much fucking money off these TV deals, though. People need to understand that. I get the blackouts suck, but the reason why players are making so much money and the league is making so much money is because of these regional TV deals, and because those regional TV deals. Yo, this song sounds like, you guys remember the early YouTube days, that one like free dance song everyone used? This is what this song reminds me of. You guys know what I'm talking about? It was like the copyright free dance song everybody fucking used in the OG YouTube days. The new TV deal is literally why the NBA cap's going up that much. Yeah, it's going to be the case forever. And who knows? I don't know. I've always said the reason why I'm searching ESPN, because they posted their win projections, some statistical win projection thing for next season, and it's really bad. I assumed that it would be higher up here. I tweeted something about it. Great account on Twitter, by the way. If you guys aren't following it, at Bias Slightly, I do follow back on Twitter. I know it doesn't look like that because I did have a stretch where I didn't follow back. But I will follow you back on Twitter. I promise. Scroll. Oh, also, if you guys, Saturday, we talk Mavs, Glow Mavs. I've been on their show before. You guys probably know who they are. They're doing a round table. I got invited to this and I was going to do it. It's after Fan Jam. I just don't know what my plans are on Saturday. I didn't want to commit to anything because I'm going to be going with my friends to Fan Jam. And I don't know what we're going to be doing afterwards. But a really solid group of guys, a round table. That should be fun. Hulu doesn't even own itself anymore. They got bought by Disney. Yeah, it's funny how all of these cable companies, it's like the biggest monopolies you've ever fucking seen. All right, this is what I was talking about. Here's ESPN's stat-based win projections for the West. What is this based off of? I don't know. Okay. ESPN stat-based win projections for the West. Is there like an article? I feel like seeing this in an article would make more sense. Stat-based win projections. All right, here we go. So they got the Suns winning. So this is really interesting. The highest win total is 49. I'm immediately, what the fuck is the Scone player projections? This shit's a joke. Kevin Pelton, he's the one who made PER, right? Mine are based on a combination of my Scone player projections. What in the hell is this? Scone. Okay. To find the most similar past players in 13 categories, including height and weight, at the same age within 6 months in either direction, a perfect match would be 100, while anything better than 95 indicates close similarity, and a score better than 90 shows some similarity. For example, for 2013-2014, the best match is Anthony Morrow of the Dallas Mavericks with former guard Matt Carroll. The next step in using player projections to generate forecasts for teams, it's not quite as simple as adding up player statistics because of how players interact with each other. On offense, Scone adjusts teams based on their projected ratio of assists to field goals to attempt to account for value of passing. This seems like a bad stat. This seems like a dumb stat. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, any stat where the highest win total is 49, I'm immediately like, okay. Like, it's funny because we were sitting here being like, oh my God. Like, I remember on Locked On Mavs, I was like, dude, the Suns going from 64 wins last year to their win total in Vegas being 52 is insane. Like, that's a huge drop off, and I don't understand it. And they're like, yeah, the ESPN's like, yeah, the Suns are going to finish with the 1 seed. And you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But with 49 wins. Like, what? No statistical projection can factor in the possible mental toll of Phoenix's lopsided Game 7 loss to Dallas Mavericks last season, nor whatever is going on between newly signed center DeAndre and the organization. Still, the Suns have enough talent and enough cushion from last season's 64 wins to project atop the East. Well, anyways, I'm not reading the blurb for every single one of these. But Nuggets, Pelicans at 3. Hi. Grizzlies 4. Timberwolves at 5. Clippers at 6. Mavs 7. So they got the Mavs as a play-in team. They have the Warriors all the way down at 8. I do want to read their little blurb here. The 2 years of Golden State spent in the lottery between losing the 2019 NBA Finals and reclaiming the title in June have thrown this and many other stat-based projections off the scent of their true talent. Last year's 538 projections opened with the Warriors at 37 wins on average, and even after Golden State reached the finals, the Dubs were still listed as huge underdogs to the Celtics. See, that's the thing. These stats that use former seasons and shit, you just can't account for any of this shit. I don't know. This is a dumb statistical thing, in my opinion. So the Celtics are the only team that is projected to win more than 50 games. Okay. God, is the NBA just fucking stacked this year or what? They got the Spurs. Oh. I don't see a world where the Spurs win 30 games. I don't see a world where the Spurs win 30 games. What's their Vegas over-under? What is their win total? It's if I had to guess, I haven't seen it yet. Is this article up to date? 8-minute read. This was okay, 3 days ago. I would have to get what, man? Get me the fuck off this website immediately. They can help carry the reg season though. Okay. I'm gonna guess their win total is like 22. Yeah, 22 and a half. Jesus Christ, I'm good. Who do they have finishing last? I want to see what they project the Magic. 30. Their win total is, what is it? 26 and a half. Man, that feels like an easy over in my opinion. I don't that feels like a really easy over. Pelton probably used the same model for the top 100. Yeah, it makes kind of sense for a player, but the logic he used to make it work for teams is just contrived. Yeah. I don't even know for a player, though, to be honest with you. Like, oh. The Pistons finishing last in the East. They got the Pacers winning 13 more games. Man, this is a nothing. This isn't even worth our time. Vegas has the Mavericks at 48.5, which would put them sixth in the West. They are tied with the Timberwolves, though. Pistons is a maybe sneaky play-in. No, the Pistons are a sneaky play-in. I remember earlier in the summer I said my bold prediction was one of the following 3 teams would make the play-in: Thunder, Pistons, and Magic. Thunder, not anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. But Pistons and Magic is definitely possible. YA, thank you for subscribing. Hopefully I said that right. If I didn't do it intentionally. I'm sorry. Also, before we get into the meat and potatoes, if you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Over half of you have not liked the stream. It just helps out tremendously. Let YouTube know we're having a great time. I hate asking. You guys know I do. But we have to. I could see the Pistons being in the play-in, depending on how good Jay and Ivy is. So that's what we're doing today. We're going through each and every team. We're saying, what's the highest this team could realistically finish? What's the lowest this team could realistically finish? I think it'll be a fun little thought exercise to think about each and every team. Before we do so, I just want to say, right, I know I don't talk about the NFL a lot on here, and that's for good reason. I'm just so done with it. I really am. The Tua shit last night was disgusting. This league is fucking disgusting. It's impossible to root for at this point. And I've been trying to pinpoint, because you guys can go back and look at the early days of this channel. I was huge into the NFL. I loved it. And at some point last season, something changed, and I was like, dude, I just don't like football anymore. And I thought that it was a Cowboys thing. I thought it was like I was so sick and tired of the Dallas Cowboys, whatever. But I just don't like the NFL at all anymore. I just don't. I don't know what it is. I still can't pinpoint it. I don't know if it's a moral thing. I don't think that's what it is. I don't know. I just don't enjoy it anymore. It just feels kind of gross. You know, it just feels kind of gross. The Tua stuff is an embarrassment on your country. I just cringe so hard the gross was handling. I mean, here's my thing, right? This should be the fucking rule. If a player, this happened on Sunday. If a player stands up after getting hit in the fucking head, is holding his head, and then walks and falls. He walks and stumbles. He shouldn't be allowed to play for at least 2 weeks. Like, I'm sorry. He just shouldn't be allowed to play for at least a week. 7 days, you're automatically out. 7 days from this exact moment, we'll go ahead and we'll evaluate you then. But if you're on the field fucking collapsing because you just got a head injury, your ass should not play for a week. I'm sorry. That's just stupid as fuck. Then he's I was at softball. I wasn't watching the game. I saw the highlights. I actually thought he might have died. Like, that hand positioning, I've never seen anything like. I mean, we grew up in the internet, right? We've seen disgusting fucking videos on the internet. That shit looked like somebody who's like fighting for their lives, basically. That was horrifying to watch. Disgustingly horrifying. And then it's like the game continues, and it just feels gross. The rest of the game is just like, this is disgusting. It's like, it's so, I don't know, watching football just feels so surreal sometimes because they're like updating you on a player that had to be rushed to the fucking emergency room because he just suffered a horrible brain injury. And they're just like, the game's continuing. You're like, yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with Tua, who, you know, he's getting rushed to the hospital. We hope for an updated. Oh, T. Higgins down the sideline. It's like, ugh. I don't know, man. And then they'll tweet stuff. There'll be reports like, Tua's been cleared. He's leaving the hospital in a neck brace, and he's flying home. And okay, you guys tell me if I'm looking too far into this. I hate when people are like, when news like that happens, and then people are like, oh, that's just such great news. Is it great news? I would say maybe I'm looking too far into it. Because that part, everything considered, sure, that is good news. That it was not a worse injury. It's lucky news. That's what I would say. Okay. Very fortunate that this is not worse than it very easily could have been. But I don't know. I've always thought that was weird when like major like bad shit happens and then like there's a tiny positive in the news and people are like, oh, great news. Really? Is it fucking great news? He's in the hospital right now. No doctor should clear him for this. The NFL doesn't give a shit. I've been telling you guys this forever. It's the most diabolical league I've ever seen. Give the NBA shit all you want. And the NBA, like every major corporation is diabolical. You have to be. That's how it works. That's how the system is designed. You want to stay on top, you want to stay ahead, you have to be diabolical. But at least the NBA tries. Like at least the NBA tries to put on a front and say, hey guys, we're actually not diabolical. Look at all the things we do. Look at all the cool stuff we do. The NFL's like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. In a weird way, I respect it. The NFL's like, yeah, we don't give a shit. Tua got a concussion last week. We don't give a fuck. We need people to tune in. Tua, Joe Burrow, Thursday Night Football. He's playing. I would say, to be fair, that apparently the players, people close to Tua before this bad injury, after his first injury, he was completely fine and probably close to play. Here's the thing, right? And I was reading stuff about this from old NFL players. There was enough former NFL players on Twitter who were like, this is a fucking debauchery, for me to think, yeah, something's up. And I saw people say that like NFL players purposefully tank. I guess before the season starts, you have to take like a baseline concussion test. That way, when you might have a concussion and you get tested for one, like the people testing you know, okay, this is their baseline test when they're not concussed, so we can compare it. That apparently they like NFL players purposefully tank their baseline test. That way, if they do get a concussion mid-game, their test scores align so they can go out and play. I'm not saying that's what Tua did, but no player is going to be like, yeah, man, like no real NFL player, right? NFL players are fucking insane. They like openly talk about shitting their pants and pissing their pants in the middle of the game like it's some normal thing, okay? They're crazy. No NFL players are like, hey, man, I got a concussion. I'm not playing. Sorry, coach. Like, they're obviously going to want to play. In European sports, concussions taken far more seriously. I listened to this crazy ebook about I don't know much about soccer, but some like soccer legend who got CT really, really bad. And it was like a changing moment for the sport because the soccer balls used to be like so heavy. No part of basketball is inherently dangerous to the players like concussion is football. I mean, I will say this. Sports in general are dangerous. Like being that explosive with your body that many times over the course of an 82-game season, 48 minutes a night, your body's not supposed to go through that wear and tear. So, it is kind of dangerous in the sense that, like, your knees might be fucked up for the rest of your lives afterwards. Like, think about Dirk. Dirk says that he can like barely walk sometimes, and that's sad and that's fucked up. But yeah, I mean, like, your life is not in danger. Like, your long-term health, like your life expectancy. It's really not. There's a lot of data showing that hitting a soccer ball is also really bad for your brain, but it's basically being swept on a rug. Yeah, that shit's bad too. Yeah, and NBA players take elbows for sure. There's a big difference though between taking an elbow to like the face. When players get elbowed, it's more like in their cheek, up on their chin. I mean, you can get a concussion from that shit too, but it's a lot different than having guys running full speed with these hard-ass helmets on, hitting you directly in your head. You said it best. If I have a kid, I'm teaching him how to pull up from the logo, never touching a football. No, I'll be that parent. I don't give a shit. My parents did not let me play football until I was 14, I think, and I played it, and I fucking hated it, and it was over. They didn't let me play Pee Wee football, even though I wanted to. They didn't let me. It wasn't until I was like in middle school and played with the school team, and I got a kick. Dude, listen how insane this shit was. This was like 2007, something like that. I was a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. Kickoff. Our fucking football team had 11 people. By the way, in case you don't follow football, you need 11 people on the field. We had 11 people. So you had to play every second of every game. All right? Kickoff return. I'm sprinting down, right? I'm sprinting down. Boom, head-on collision with this guy. I couldn't hear out of my left ear for like 3 minutes. It was just, and I'm pretty sure I blacked out. Only for like a few seconds. Because I remember like, whoa, what the fuck? Definitely had a concussion. 12 years old. The trainer said, hey, you all right, man? I was like, I don't know. Like, everything just seems so surreal. I didn't say that because probably didn't know what surreal meant at the time. But I was like, I don't know. And the trainer's like, all right, you're good. Get out there. Because we had 11 people. And I was a 13-year-old. Another thing, too, you have to remember, Frank makes a good point. The NFL is so cutthroat, man. You have the contracts are not guaranteed. You could be here today, gone tomorrow in the NFL. You get a bad injury. All right, well, sorry, man. We're cutting you. I feel like the school-age football coaches are insane compared to other sport. Yeah. A torn ACL season-ending, a concussion can be life-ending. Maybe not life-ending, but life-altering for sure. Something reminds me of Clay Matthews. Yeah. We're both huge, swole individuals, right? I'm a freak athletic. A freak of nature athletically. I've had several concussions from snowboarding. Yeah, skiing and snowboarding is bad too. I'll take concussions for a few $1 million any day. But how many NFL players do we see who leave the sport? I've talked about this before. NFL headlines in the offseason are horrifying. They are. They're worse than any other sport, by far. By far. And former players, like, weirdly dying. Just weirdly passing away in the offseason. It happens all of the time. And young players, too. CTE is really bad. I read a book about it. It's fucking terrifying. Like, CTE is a terrifying thing. It makes me kind of scared. Like, I didn't have any, like, really bad head injuries, but I don't know. Maybe I did. I played baseball growing up. I was a catcher. You know how many foul balls I took off my fucking helmet, off my mask? I don't know. What if that shit caused, like, long-term brain damage? That scares me sometimes. But anyways, yeah, my kid, they want to play football. That's too bad. I don't care. I'll be that parent, right? You can play flag football with your friends outside in the front yard. You're going to learn how to pull up off the dribble from 35 feet. All right? You're going to learn how to pull up off the dribble from 35 feet. You're going to learn how to switch on a pick and roll. Either that or you're going to learn how to throw a backdoor slider. That's it. You're going to learn how to throw a sweeping slider or a sinker. Right? You're going to learn proper launch angles swinging a baseball bat. Or you're going to pull up from 35 feet. That's just how I feel. The NFL, it's just such an icky league. Like, does that make sense? It just feels so fucking icky. Nah, pitchers need their tendons replaced at 17. That's just because baseball currently is just insane. Travel sports right now, across every single sport, needs to be nuked. Like, there needs to be a complete and total overhaul of how youth sports is handled. It's terrible. And everybody always shits on AAU because I guess it's the easy target. It's bad. Every fucking sport, youth sports, is horrible. Golf is a lifetime sport. Yeah, golf's good. That's why I partially don't like football, because I don't think taking head trauma is worth it for a few millions. You guys need to understand, man. I know millions of dollars sound great. Like $2-3 million, if you're smart, that could probably last you a lifetime. But like some of these players are making $500,000. That's not lasting you a lifetime. Like if you're leaving your NFL career with like maybe you made a total through your contract, like, let's just say like $1.3 million, right? But you had some bad head injuries. That's going to be spooky. That's not enough money to last you a lifetime. Head trauma literally makes you worse at being able to make good decisions with that money. Yeah, and there's still so much taboo around it too. Like, I don't know. Baseball gives players from Latin countries millions of dollars at 16 years old. Hope they pan out. Yeah. Aren't they talking about doing like a Latin draft though now? I've heard that before. How long does it take to get the pension? That's a good question. I don't know. How long is it in the NBA? The NBA is really good about it, aren't they? Is it the NBA like you just play one NBA minute and you're good? Because wasn't that a big thing with what was that dude's name on the Lakers? You guys know what I'm talking about? Ingram, was that his last name? You guys know what I'm talking about though? Like, what was that, 2017? That was a long time ago. Time flies. Let's look it up. NBA pension plan? How NBA pensions work. Hey man, God, these fucking websites that just bombard you with shit. I don't want your notifications on. Part of me just feels, knowing the NBA and knowing all these different leagues, I would be shocked if the NBA does not have the best plan. Thanks in large part to the actions of modern NBA players like Chris Paul, LeBron James, Caron Butler, and James Jones, among others, the NBA pension program has significantly improved in recent years. This greatly benefits the old school players who haven't always seen eye to eye with the game's modern stars. The NBA players have had a pension plan since 1965. Any player with at least 3 years of service in the NBA receives a monthly pension payment and access to other benefits, lifelong healthcare coverage, college tuition reimbursement program. In order to accrue a year of service, a player must be under contract for at least one game during the NBA season. $62-year-old who played 10 or more years in the NBA will earn over $215,000 annually. Oh my God. For comparison, a 10-year NFL veteran who retired prior to 1993 receives a pension of approximately $30,000 to $40,000. The minimum that a retired NBA player will receive at age 62 is $56,000 annually. Holy shit. How do we get Crowder without trading a first? Is he really worth that? Oh, fuck no. I mean, I'm not trading a first for Jay Crowder. No. No chance. I'm not giving up a first for him. No shot. Yeah, if Bojan didn't get a first, which I'm still shocked by the way, neither should Jay Crowder. Kind of different situations, though. One team's, like, actively trying to tank. The Suns are trying to win, so... But still. It would be dumb. It would be dumb to give up a first in any flexibility you do have. Andre Ingram, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Then when he said he wanted to make year 10 to get NBA benefits for his family last season. Yeah, so NBA you play 10 years in the NBA. As of right now, and this will probably go up as time goes on, but $215,000 annually. I mean, that's pretty fucking good. Like, that's obviously, if you play 10 years in the NBA, you made millions upon millions of dollars. Like, you don't have a 10-year career without being a really good player. So you've made millions upon millions of dollars, but still. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. You know exactly where we're going. Google.com. Open. Google Docs. New. Google Doc. I love it. Love you so much, Google Docs. We will revisit this later in the season for sure. And I will do my full predictions, all 30 teams, standing predictions. But until then, best and worst case scenario. Didn't Josh Green look solid in his practice? Yeah, Josh Green looked really good. I want you guys to chime in on this too. Okay? I want you guys to chime in on this. I tweeted out what I thought about this a while back. Let me see if I can find that tweet, see if much has changed. I think a lot has changed since then, actually, so I'm not even going to look at that tweet. Green Hive, rise up. That's right. If Josh becomes even like a Walmart version of Draymond, oh my God. Yeah, that would be fucking insane. Using Chime in the sentence, so you should. I still don't even know what Chime is. What is Chime? Chime.com, official banking credit card. Oh, okay, I do know what Chime is. Never mind. I did know that. Online banking. If you guys use code slightly biased at chime.com, you will receive $500 when you open up your next account. Just tell them I sent you. Tell them I sent you, and if they tell you no, start a scene. If Josh develops a jump shot, it becomes a dollar store Anunoby, which is nice. Christian Wood did look not great, but I'm not going to put too much stock into it, okay? All right. Here we go. Boston Celtics are the first team we're talking about. What is the realistic range of outcomes for them? Now, when I say realistic, I'm not factoring in injuries, unless we're talking about players or a team that regularly deal with injuries. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, what if Jason Tatum gets hurt? Because he hasn't really been hurt, right? Knock on glass. He hasn't really been hurt. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's not what I'm going to do. Because that, obviously, you could say that about literally anybody, any player, any team. The Celtics are fucking stacked. Like, I don't think there's a way they're not a top 4 seed. They're too good. Their team is too deep. They have the top end talent. I do worry a little bit about the finals hangover. That's a real thing. I don't know how real it is in basketball. NFL, it's a very real thing. Basketball, how real is it? Let's think about it, right? Obviously, you had the Mavs 2011, but they won that year. The Raptors, they won. I'm trying to think of teams that lost. Warriors lost to the Raptors. It took them a couple years and they won again. I don't really count that because major injuries. The Cavs lost a million times, but they kept going back because of LeBron. What up, Riley? The Suns, did the Suns have championship hangover? I would honestly say no. I know they got embarrassed in the second round, but they won 64 games. And we're only doing regular season. I just heard Die For You on the radio for the first time? Really? What's that doing on the radio 6 years later? They're not that good. Wouldn't get out of the second round if Bucks were healthy. Okay, I don't know about that. I think their ceiling is a 1 seed, obviously. I don't even need to explain that. What's the lowest we could go? Like, let's just say, okay, the Ime Udoka situation is really, really bad. And the team is just kind of, the team is just sort of lost now, right? It's just this huge shadow, this huge cloud hanging over their organization. And it distracts them. Like, they're distracted. People in the locker room get upset. Maybe half the locker room thinks that it was fucked up what Ime Udoka did, and the other half thinks that he should be back. And it's like creating this weird rift, right? Who's their new coach again? And by the way, it's very strange how It's very strange how Joe Mazzulla. Maybe Joe Mazzulla's not a good coach. I mean, we don't know. It's very strange how you have guys like Kendrick Perkins and Matt Barnes who are like, it's really bad. When you guys hear how bad this actually was, like, it'll shock you. I don't know how to feel about that, but I think the lowest they can finish is 5. Like, they're just too fucking talented. I think 5 would be an utter disaster for them. Like, that's how it feels. The JB situation is an issue, maybe, but I don't think right now. That could be a thing that becomes a big issue next year. But he still has 2 years left on his deal. I think the worst they can finish is 5. And even then, I think 5 would be an utter disaster for them. They're just too good. They're too stacked. Brooklyn Nets. Wow. This one is do we think they can finish as the 1 seed? Like, is that possible? Let's see what Vegas thinks of them. Vegas has them with 50.5 wins. So Vegas has them as the 3rd best team tied with the Sixers. And only 3 wins behind the Celtics. So Vegas seems to think that they could easily finish as the 1 seed. That's what that tells me. And I do kind of see it. Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Ben Simmons. But let's talk about it. I said I wouldn't factor in injuries unless we're talking about guys who are often injured. Ben Simmons, right? He's been dealing with injuries. He's coming off of a full year of not playing. Kyrie is in and out of the lineup all the time. I don't think they can win. I don't think they can be 1 seed. I just don't. I don't think they're going to have the consistency throughout the season. I will go 2, though. I'll go 2. But what is their lowest? I think they'll probably have the biggest range of outcomes. The widest range of outcomes. That's what I think. I don't know. They need players who want to win for their team to get 1st seed. Yeah. The Nets look better overall. Yeah, the Nets are going to be good. Like, if they show up and actually try and are good, they're going to be fucking good. They're going to be really good. I think the worst they could possibly go... Okay, well, okay. Is this a realistic scenario to consider? We get to February. We get to January. Kyrie says, hey, just letting you guys know, I'm not re-signing here. I don't want to be here anymore. Like, in the offseason, I'm going to leave. Kevin Durant comes back. Kevin Durant comes to the table and says, hey, you know what? I don't like it here. I want out. Like, I still want to be traded, by the way. And then I'd say, okay, you know what? Fuck this. Maybe they're the 4th seed or the 5th seed. They don't look all that impressive. They say, all right, fuck this. Kyrie, we're trading you. Like, you're not going to re-sign here. We might as well get something for you. KD, you want traded? Fine. Do we think that's a realistic possibility? Or should we not factor that situation in? Because if we factor that situation in, we're talking like 11th or 12th. And I'm going to put them at 12. I'm sorry. That seems kind of realistic. This offseason was a weird, crazy mess. A weird roller coaster for them. I think this is a wide range of outcomes. But I think small chance, there's a huge explosion. But if it does happen, yeah, they'll be bad. I think it's far more likely that they're a 2 or a 3 seed, though. New York Knicks. What is the best they could finish? Realistically, I think Julius Randle has a return to form. Brunson takes a huge step forward. RJ takes a huge step forward. You have all your young guys like Quickly, Grimes. They all take a huge step forward. I think they could definitely sneak into like the 4th seed for sure. I could see them sneaking into the 4th seed. Is there a world where they miss? No. I actually don't know if they... I don't know if they host a playoff series. I don't know if they host a playoff series. I mean, they were the 4th seed a couple years ago, right? This is a tough one. They're going to have a pretty big range of outcomes, too. All right. I kind of agree that they could maybe host the playoff series if everything goes right. No, I'm sorry. I can't see it. Like, too many things would have to happen to go their way. And I'm not factoring all that shit in. Because if I do that for every single team, then it's like, okay, yeah, sure. I guess the Pistons could finish as the 5th seed. But I don't want to do that. And the more I think about it, I'm actually putting them 6. Is there a world where they miss the play-in entirely? Unless they deal with like catastrophic injuries, I don't know if they miss the play-in. I just don't. They're good. But they didn't really have that many injuries last year and they missed the play-in. And they add Brunson, they add Hartenstein. I think there's a world they do miss the play-in, but I think it's like 11th. No, the Knicks are okay. They're not a bad team. The East is pretty stacked though. Like that is, you guys are right in that regard. 76ers. I think this is a team that can finish as the 1 seed. The 76ers are good. And again, I said that I wouldn't really look into injuries. I know Embiid's often injured, but they could definitely finish as the 1 seed. And I think the worst they could finish is like, I don't know, 4? 4 maybe. Like Embiid gets hurt for a little bit. They are a high floor team for sure. Would it be weird to have their bottom, be higher than the Celtics? I actually don't think so. I think there's a lot less uncertainty with the Sixers right now, the way things are set up, than the Celtics. And I feel like they have a chip on their shoulder. I'll put the lowest they can finish 4. I don't see a world where, unless a catastrophe happens, injury-wise, which again, we're not really factoring in, that they don't at least host a playoff series. I almost want to go 3. Do I go a little bit bold and go 3? They have a lot to prove as a team compared to the Celtics. Yeah. Harden openly talking about the fact that his hammy is not bothering him anymore makes me think he might have a monster season. I saw somebody say that they would probably bet on the Mavs, or I'm sorry, not the Mavs, on Harden to lead the league in assists, and that could be a pretty good one. Harden and Embiid have a lot to prove this season. Bucks and Celtics finish higher. After that, it's up for grabs. So if you think the Bucks and Celtics are better than them, then this really only gives them leeway to be the 3rd seed. I'll go 4, but I can't see a world where they're not hosting a playoff series. I just really can't. Outside of having Doc Rivers as their coach, there's really not that much uncertainty. Where again, I am factoring in the Celtics being in this weird shit show situation. Raptors. Wow. What do we think about the Raptors? What do we think about them? What's the highest they can finish? Let's think about their team. Doc said Melton was looking great on defense. I love that DeAnthony Melton trade for them. Highest is 6th. I can't get to top 3 with them. I just can't. Hosting a playoff series? I mean, what? They were the 5th seed last year, weren't they? I have some serious doubts about the Bucks, to be honest. Feel like the league kind of figured Budenholzer out. It's funny because before the Bucks won a championship, everybody wanted Budenholzer out. Raptors are going to be a force every single game. The Raptors are always incredibly well coached. They have a good team. You have very good players. Siakam, Freddie, Scotty Barnes, OG. And they're just always good. They're one of these teams. They're just always good. The one year they weren't was the fucking COVID season where they were playing in Tampa. Is there a world where they're a 4 seed? What would have to happen? Scotty takes a gigantic leap. Siakam plays like an all-NBA level player the entire season. Because remember, he had a slow start to the year. It was amazing at the end of the season. Fred's shooting improves. They got better on the wing with Otto Porter Jr. So I have Thad Young for a full season. It's just, if you're not factoring in major injuries, is there a world where the Raptors are better than the Bucks, Sixers, Heat, Cavs, Nets, Celtics? No, they're just not. I'll go 5 to like 8. I think they have a small range of outcomes. They're good. They're a good team. They're a really solid team. These ranges might not make sense at the end when we look at all the teams. The Atlantic Division is stacked, by the way. Like, the Knicks are the worst team in that division, and they're a solid team. Chicago Bulls, okay. They feel like a play-in team to me. I'm like trying to think of their highest ceiling. They were a play-in team last year. Oh wait, they were not a play-in team, were they? They were the 6th seed last year. And a stacked East, I just don't know. I don't know if I can get to 6th seed. I honestly don't know. Raptors could have 0 injuries all year, and Bucks could have a good 3, and Toronto would still not beat them. The Bucks are fucking nasty. 4, I can't get as high as 4. I can't get to hosting a playoff series with the Bulls. Lonzo's in and out. They were the 1st seed before injuries ravaged him. Yeah, but DeRozan like had a godlike season. It was the best season of his career. And at what is he, like 32? I just don't know if that's replicated. Yeah, Vooch was terrible. And that's true. If he's better, then they're definitely better. Levine was kind of dealing with injuries for most of the season, or the back half of the season at least. There's a very real chance Lonzo misses the whole year, and we saw how important he was to them. 6 is a... Let me try to think about my top teams in the East, okay? Celtics, Nets, Sixers, Cavs, Bucks, Heat. Realistically, how would the Bulls be better than any of those teams? Io takes a huge step forward. Kobe White's actually good. Pat Williams step forward. That's true, Pat Williams. Yeah, Goran Dragic. Can't compete without a center in the East. That's true. I'll give them 6. I'll give them 6. Do we think there's a world where they miss the play-in entirely? I don't know if I can get there. Sixers winning it all, trust the process. Sixers will have a good chance this year. It's kind of why when I did the disgruntled player rankings, I kind of said, if the Sixers don't make it out of the second round this year, does Embiid ask out? Like, is that... It kind of feels like a now or never thing. I don't see a world where, unless we're talking crazy injuries, the Bulls completely miss the play-in. I'll go 10. This isn't like a Knicks situation where it's like, yeah, you guys missed the play-in last year. Where would he go? The Mavs have all of their picks next offseason. I'll just say that. Okay, who's next? Cavaliers. Yep. 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 I do believe that. I do believe that. Donovan Mitchell's always been a great regular season player. Their team is fucking good. Look at this team. Their team is actually kind of insane. They could very easily have a top 3 defense. Mobley could take a superstar leap. And remember, they were well on their way to making the playoffs last year before they got Donovan Mitchell until Jared Allen got hurt. And that kind of fucked everything up. What up, Colton? They have 4 top. They have 4 all-star level players on their team. Yeah, Garland got hurt too. And they got enough guys to throw at the 3. They got enough guys to throw at the 3 spot. I think them finishing as the 1 seed wouldn't be that much of a surprise. And also, you have to factor this in too. They're a young team, right? So for them, think about for like the Bucks or the Sixers, like game 61, right? Maybe we rest Embiid. Like, we're not, maybe, you know, we played this is our 3rd game in 4 nights. You know, maybe we're taking it a little bit less seriously. We understand that this is a marathon, right? We want to get to the playoffs healthy, right? We want to get to the playoffs ready to go. The Cavs are going to be like, fuck this, man. We want to be the 1 seed. We want to win 60 games. I think that factors into it a little bit. What up, Mandingo? I expect them to be the best regular season team in the East. It's not impossible. What's their lowest they can finish? I think 6. Like, I can't see a world where they're not a... where they're not a solid playoff team. I just can't. They're too good. Again, we're not factoring in, like, injuries. Unless they have guys who are consistently injured, and that's just really not the case. Top 5. I mean, the East is kind of stacked. Like, let's say everything goes right for the Celtics, everything goes right for the Nets, everything goes right for the Sixers, everything goes right for the Bucks. Boom, you're already at 5. They're good. I cannot wait to watch the Cavs. They might be my favorite League Pass team this year. You guys know I love Darius Garland. I'm so excited to watch Mobley. All right, Detroit Pistons. After going through all of this, like, I would love to be give a hot take about the Pistons. After going through all of this, though, looking at how stacked the East is, I don't know if I can go higher than 10, but I will give them 10. I'll give them sneaking into a play-in spot. Realistically, their only chance of going any higher than this, 10 to 13, that's exactly what I was thinking, 10 to 13. Their only chance of going really higher than 10 would be like catastrophic injuries ahead of them, and we're not factoring that in. I don't see them finishing last. I just can't. I don't know if I can get there. I'm a gigantic believer in Cade. It's not to say it's impossible, though. They finished last, but... You would say top 5 is lowest for the Cavs? Hornets, Magic, Pacers could all be better, in my opinion. Maybe the lowest I can go is 14. Maybe. Pacers. I'm going to go like 12 to 15. I just don't. They're just not that talented. I like their young rebuild. I do. You know, I like Tyrese Halliburton is. You could do a lot worse when it comes to having a young player to sort of spark your rebuild. If Ivy contributes right away, the Pistons could sneak into the 7-8 seed. I don't know, man. The East is pretty stacked. Maybe the Pacers' ceiling's a little bit higher if they get Ayton, obviously, but I can't see the Pacers sneaking into the play-in. I just don't see a world. 12 is the absolute highest I can go, and they're gonna enter January, February, and the race for Wembanyama is going to be very real, and they're going to fucking tank. I think we might see some absolutely shameless tanking with some of the top end prospects that are supposed to be the next draft. So, Pacers here. I love me some Tyrese Halliburton, but yeah. We're talking about the best case, not the best prediction. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I don't see a best case scenario where they're a 10 seed. I just don't. Milwaukee Bucks. 1 seed, of course. I'll go lowest as like 3. I mean, that's... If everybody stays healthy, they're going to be incredible. Giannis is always an absolute monster in the regular season, usually in the playoffs too. Chris Middleton should be healthy. Drew Holiday's a beast. Like, they're just built to win now. Do I need to go any further than this one? The absolute worst case scenario for them is catastrophic injury, which, again, knock on glass, 1. But also 2, we're not factoring in. So that is the lowest realistic floor for them. Ooh, the East is pretty top heavy, man. It's gonna be a fun season. All right, Southeast Division. Let's see. Atlanta Hawks. Ooh, the Atlanta Hawks. You know, I saw a tweet that people were asking, like, to make predictions for the season. One of the questions was who's gonna have the best offense. I picked the Hawks. I think it's possible they have the best offense in the NBA this upcoming season. Wouldn't shock me at all. Trae Young's special. They have a lot of offensive talent. And then you add DeJounte Murray. Top 3 seed? That's kind of what I'm thinking. What does Vegas think? Vegas has them at 45.5, which would put them tied with the Raptors, by the way. Which would put them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That put them as the 7th seed. With how stacked the East is, I don't know if I can go. I'm actually struggling here. I'm trying to think the highest. What's the highest I can go? I kind of think they could host a playoff series. Let's think about best case scenario. Trae Young plays like an MVP. DeJounte Murray is a great Robin. Clint Capella, a full healthy offseason, looks way better than he did last year. DeAndre Hunter actually takes a step forward. Hawks one of those teams that didn't have appealing players for redraft yesterday, so they short rotation. That's true. But that's just for an expansion draft, though. Like, they have some pretty solid role players that might not be appealing for like a super young team. It all depends on if you think Trae's an MVP candidate. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Trae Young. I do think he's that level of player offensively. I don't think saying that they could host a series being their absolute ceiling, I don't think that's that crazy. I really don't. Do we think there's a world where they missed the play-in? I mean, they were very disappointing last year, and they still made the play-in. So I don't know if there's a world they missed the play-in. Especially with DeJounte on the team now. I'll go, the lowest I can go with them is like 9, maybe. Which is kind of where Vegas thinks they could be. At some point, we have to figure out which teams are not making the play-in the East. We'll get to some here. Hornets. Hornets have been a play-in team each of the past 2 seasons. They got worse this past offseason. Here's where I will factor in injuries. Gordon Hayward is always injured. So I will factor that into the equation. I think you're a little high in Atlanta for me. I like Atlanta. I do. I mean, last year I predicted them to be the fucking 1 seed. So I'm always wrong when it comes to them. So, Hornets. You do have LaMelo. I'll give him that. 10 to 13, same as Pistons? No. I'm putting them at 15. I actually am. I actually think there's a world where the Hornets finish as the worst team in the East. I don't think it's that likely, but I see it. Whereas with the Pistons, they have a bunch of young guys who are going to try to, you know, they kind of want to push it forward, right? They've been kind of in this bottom tier for a while now. They kind of want to start pushing things forward. With the Hornets, if they suck in January or February, it might be time to pull the plug. Like, they should. I said that before. I said that like months ago. I was like, dude, the Hornets need a fucking tank next year. They need to figure out some way to sneak tank. I'll go 10 to 15. I don't like their team at all this year. The vibes are terrible, too. I'm factoring that into the equation. Maybe they sneak into the play-in to get clobbered again. Like, do we think LaMelo is good enough to carry a team like that? I can see them getting an 8 seed. Maybe I go a little bit higher. Maybe I'll go 9. Yeah, they signed LiAngelo Ball, which, whatever. If they're in January or February and they're the 12th seed, do they listen to Gordon Hayward offers? Do they trade Terry Rozier? I think yes. And then they sneak tank the rest of the season. That's why I think they can finish 15th. Like, I don't think the Pistons would do that, honestly. Heat, man, not a great offseason for them. They're actually a team where if they traded for Jay Crowder, I think it would actually significantly improve their ceiling, just because they desperately need some like somebody who could play the 4 after losing PJ Tucker. What's the highest they can finish? I'm thinking 3. They were the 1 seed last year. We got to remember that. We have to remember they were the 1 seed. But I just don't see a world where they're better than the Celtics, Bucks, Sixers. 4 through 7. I'll go 3. I think they can finish that high. 7's good. I mean, they're an incredibly well-run organization. They're not going to have a terrible season. 3-7 feels right. It's a stacked conference. It's a stacked conference. Orlando Magic. I am pretty high on them. I love their team. I love their rebuild currently. I love Franz Wagner. I think Paolo is going to be a fucking beast. I do think his skill set, you know, the shot creation right out of the gate, it could be slow. We see that a lot of times with guys like that. It takes a little bit to get going. But I think they could definitely be a playing team. How high though? I don't know. What did I give the Pistons? 10? I'd probably go there for the Magic too. I do think I kind of like the Magic more than the Pistons. What does Vegas have to say? Where are the Pistons? They have the Pistons as 3 games better than the Magic. Huh. Where do they have the Hornets? Okay. Magic, I'll go 10. The reason why I think the Hornets ceiling will be a little bit higher because they have made the play-in each of the last 2 years. And like Gordon Hayward is good. Terry Rozier is good. I'll go 14. I don't think... I'll give them the same exact thing I gave the Pistons. I think that's fair. Wait a second. Why are the Knicks that low? It's a stacked conference, and they just, like... compared to some of the other teams... I mean, they're right behind the Bulls. I feel like that's fair for them. Is that it for the East? Oh, no, we have the Wizards. The Wizards are such a weird fucking team. I think their range of outcomes is going to be pretty big, too. Where does Vegas have them? They have them below the Hornets. Ooh. I think there's a world where the Wizards are 15. I'm going to put them there. I don't think they'll reach it, but again, it'll be the tanking thing. It'll be the, okay, we're here in February. Our team sucks. Let's shut it down. But I can also see them being good. Like making the playoffs good. Not the play-in, the playoffs. Hear me out. Beal is a good fucking NBA player, man. This guy just averaged 30 points 2 years ago. KP. Let's talk about it. KP has a chance, if he stays healthy this year. KP has a chance to play himself into a position where he can opt out of his deal, which nobody saw coming, but he can opt out of his deal and take some more financial security, take some long-term security by signing maybe a smaller, I don't know what his player option is, probably like $32 or something, $32 total, $32 million, but he can get that long-term security. Sort of like what Harrison Barnes did after the Mavs traded him to the Kings. Remember, he opted out of his deal and everyone was like, wait, what the fuck is he doing? And then he got like a smaller yearly average deal, but it was long-term, so it was more financial security. I can see KP doing that. Kuzma's in a contract year. I think Barton's in a contract year. Monte Morris might be in a contract year. They got a bunch of guys on a contract year. Rui, it's time to start proving something. I would say even Denny Avila, it's time to start proving something. Like, that's why I could see 6 and I could see 15. For all the reasons I also just said. Like, you have so many guys who are like in contract years that I think their team could look disgusting. Like, we could have Kuzma putting up dog shit shots, then Will Barton puts up a dog shit shot, and then KP pulls up from 35 fucking feet, clanks it off the side of the backboard. I don't know how they're a weird team. I can't see the Wizards anywhere near the playoffs. I can. They got their team's not terrible. Like, they're not the Pacers. I just have a weird feeling about them. KP went 3 of 10 in his preseason game and finished with 7 points and failed to back down guards. I'm not going to put too much stock in a preseason game. I'm just not going to do it. All right, let's get to the West. Golden State Warriors. Well, 1, obviously. Let's talk about it. Do we factor in injuries with them? A little tiny bit. Just call it what it is. Like, Steph's been injured a lot. Clay obviously has been injured a lot. Do we kind of... Yeah, JaVale knocked down a corner 3. The Mavs did like a 2-for-1, and JaVale knocked down a corner 3. If we do 6, they were injured last year and finished fine. Yeah, the lowest I can go with them is like 4. I'm sorry. They're just fucking good. They're stupid stack. Jordan Poole in a contract year. Like, Moody, Kuminga, another year. Wiseman should be back. They're going to be stupid. Wiggins contract year. Draymond contract year, potentially. Can opt out. So, guys, did you watch the Mavs live camp thing today? Yes, I did. All right, next is the Clippers. Wide range of outcomes here. You have to factor in injuries with Kawhi and Paul George. You just do. Obviously, they can finish as the 1 seed. You guys are about to find out. The West is fucking stupid. No, there's no way their ceiling is 3. Their ceiling is 1. Their ceiling is the best team in the NBA if they're healthy. Like, that's if injuries were turned off, the Clippers would be considered by far the best team in the NBA. By far. With all their uncertainties, yeah, but they're still a 1 seed. Like, if Kawhi plays most of the year and Paul George plays most of the year, they can definitely finish as a 1 seed. They got they have Norman Powell, they got Robert Covington, they got John Wall, Reggie Jackson. Their team is stupid. They're probably the most deep team in the league. Their wing depth is insane. What's the lowest I can go with them? Yeah, they finished as the 9 seed last year with tons of injuries. I'll go all the way to 8 with them though, because I do have to factor in injuries. Like, I'm sorry, they're just they are hurt so often. But that's like, knock on glass again, a scenario where like Paul George and Kawhi are hurt again. Lakers. Ugh, yucky. What's the highest they finish? 3? Man, I don't know if I can go that high. 5 through 15? Definitely making the playoffs. Like, that's definitely their ceiling. 5 feels good. I don't know if they host a series, but you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis on your team, so your ceiling is relatively high. But yeah, 15 seems... Oh, man. Here's the thing, like, if for them to be the 15th seed, again, knock on glass, like, AD and LeBron would have to get hurt immediately. That's how bad the Spurs are going to be. That's how bad they're going to be bad right out of the fucking gate. I'll go, like, 12. I'll go 12. We have to factor in injuries with him, too. AD, obviously, right? And honestly, LeBron has been hurt quite a bit lately as well. What does Vegas think of them? They've got the Lakers at 45.5. Same as the Raptors. Same as the Hawks. Ahead of the Pelicans. Wow. Is this the over and is this the under? Because if so, people are fucking hammering the over on the Pelicans. Wow. And people are hammering the under on the Lakers. What's the betting lines looking like for the Mavs? Oh, a lot of people are betting the over on the Mavs. Kind of shocking. People are not high on the Knicks. Wow, minus 130 for their under. I was watching your stream earlier, and there's a way to watch the Mavs on League Pass while living in Dallas by using a VPN. Yeah, you can use a VPN on League Pass. I think I did see it, though, that they're going to try to crack down on that big time. I don't know if I'm imagining that. All right, Phoenix Suns, they can finish as the 1 seed. I mean, let's not fool ourselves. They won 64 games last year. Like, they can definitely finish as the 1 seed. What's the lowest we could realistically go with them? I could actually see 8. I was thinking 8 as well. 10 is a little bit too low for me, but I could actually see 8. Reason being, right, Chris Paul looked horrible at the end of that series. A year, fast forward a few months, was that just like a weird thing for him? Or is it like are we going to see some players just fall off of a cliff? We think like it's NBA 2K, progression is linear, and so is regression. Like it's going to get, a couple attribute points worse every year. Some guys just literally are bad. Some guys just wake up and are done. That could be the case for Chris Paul. I don't know. The Ayton situation is ugly. Do they trade him mid-season? I mean, that situation is ugly. Jay Crowder already wants out. Yeah, I think 8 seed. They're still too fucking talented, though, for me to go any lower than that. What's their odds? It's high. Oh, people are hammering the under. People are hammering the under on 52.5. I got to put in a bet for over on that. Sorry. That's just... I'm putting a bet right now. A futures bet on the Suns. Do we really think that they become 12 games worse? I don't know. Let me see what my bookie's talking about. Okay. NBA regular season wins. Suns. Oh, mine's way different. Wait, is this the over? And is this the under? I think it is. Never mind. All right, so yeah, people are hammering the over on the Suns. Okay, so that means people are hammering the under on the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. People, okay, according to my bookie odds, people are destroying the over on the Timberwolves. The over for the Timberwolves is minus 150. The under is plus 110. Holy shit. Wow. People hammering the over on the Pistons. Whoa, people are... Okay, Nuggets. I thought that said Lakers. People hammering the under on the Hornets, yeah. Yeah, the vibes are bad for the Suns, but still, they're super talented still. Like, don't get it wrong, an 8 seed would be a horrible collapse and a disaster for them. I can't go like 10. That's too low. Kings. Oh. Is there a world where the Kings are a playoff team? 6 seed. Maybe. They're really talented. I mean, not really talented, but they got a lot of talent. Fox has a breakout year. Sabonis, full year. They didn't look bad together. Davion Mitchell takes a step up. Keegan Murray's a Rookie of the Year candidate. I actually think, yeah, I'm going to put them at 6. What's the lowest they finished, though? I mean, it's the Kings. Like, so do I put them at 15 just because it is the Kings? They're too good to be 15 when there's teams as bad as there are in the West at the bottom. I'll go 13. That feels fair. And the reason is they're like, they're the Kings. Like, that's what I would go like 12 or 11, but it's you have to factor in the Kings factor. It's not fair, and you know it feels like punching down. Everybody makes fun of the Kings, but let's just call it what it is, right? Denver Nuggets, 1 for real, definitely 1. It's possible. And look, we got to factor in injuries. MPJ's always hurt. Okay, we have to factor in injuries to him. Jamal Murray's coming off of a full year not playing. They were a 6 seed last year with no Jamal Murray the entire year and pretty much no Michael Porter Jr. the entire year. And they also got better on the edges. Like, Bruce Brown, love that for them. KCP, love that for them. No wing defense, they got Bruce Brown and KCP. Bones Highland, step up. Christian Brown, wing defense. I don't even know if I can go 6. I think I have to go 5. Okay. I didn't know that's what you're saying. Well, my bad. They got to 6. Like, if Jokic is playing the full season, he's just one of those guys. Like, he's gonna drag you kicking and screaming to like a top 6 seed. Timberwolves. Oh, whoa. Yet another one of these teams. I actually can see 1 seed. I really can. Let me just see. I think everybody is hammering the Timberwolves over. Timberwolves over is minus 150 on 48.5 wins. So everybody thinks, the public thinks that they're going to finish. No, they're higher than 4, dude. They're higher than 4 for sure. I'll go lower than 5, though. They're still unproven. Don't know how much lower I can go, though. Because what were they? They were the 7th seed last year, and they got better. I think I go 7. I think that's about the lowest I could go for them. And I don't even know what would have to happen for them to be a 7 seed. Like, Rudy Gobert alone is going to make you a top 10 defense. And then on top of that, like, the Jazz are always good. Anthony Edwards takes like a superstar leap. Cat is incredible. I don't even see a world really where they finish 7. But I guess the world is the West is a fucking bloodbath. And there are more experienced teams. That's what I'll say. Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay. Man. Is there a world they make the play-in? One through 15. I would love to say there's a world where they make the play-in, but I just don't know. Unleash Shay's first seed. You see the vision. 10. If they had Chet a full year, I would say yes. I would say yeah. I'll give them it. I'll give them it based off of Shea alone, but I'll also give them 15. I mean, it's the Thunder. Like, it's the Thunder. If they think it's time to tank, they will tank. Like, we have to factor that into the equation. Portland Trailblazers. What an interesting team. I actually like this roster a lot. Dame alone is going to carry your team in the regular season. We have seen this. If Dame is healthy, he's going to give you a shot. What's the highest they can finish? They made a lot of good moves this offseason. They brought in Jeremy Grant. Nasir Little takes another step forward. Anthony Simons, right? Another step forward, maybe. They went out and got Gary Payton. 6. I think I might go 5. I don't know if I can get to hosting a playoff series with them. But I think 5 would be a good year. Like, if they finish the 5th seed, like, Dame's in the MVP conversation for real. I do think there's a world, though, where they... Is there a world where they miss the play-in? Yes, for sure, I think. For sure. The West is a bloodbath. There's definitely a world... Somebody's going to have to miss a play-in. Like, somebody's just going to have to. I'll go 11. Which would be a disaster for them. But it's just a stacked conference. I can see Gary Payton playing himself into the starting lineup. I mean, they're going to need the defense. You guys think that's fair? I don't think they missed the play-in, but I have to say it's a possibility because looking at some of the other teams, like where does Vegas have them? Am I missing them? Oh, Blazers. 39.5. A lot of people hammering the over. Man, wow. The Lakers are really 6 wins over the Blazers? Wow. Jazz. I tweeted out. I was just looking at rosters around the league. I tweeted out, if you came to me from the future 6 months from now and said, hey, guess what, man? The Jazz made the fucking play-in game. I would be like, okay, that kind of makes sense, actually. I could see a world. Now that I'm thinking about it in this exercise, I don't believe so. My main thing is, all right, you have a lot of guys with a lot to prove. Colin Sexton's going to go out there. He's got a lot to prove. Okay? Lauri Markkanen, I feel like he's gonna go out there with a lot to prove. Alan Horton Tucker. They fucking are terrible. I'm thinking about it now. I'll go 13-15. It's pretty bad. Gay sex lineup? Yeah, true. Rudy Gay's still there. But see, Vegas is, I guess... Vegas has them with higher win total than Thunder, Rockets, and Spurs. I think that's kind of telling. Can I get to 10 with them? Can I get to the play-in? Let me try to convince myself. Colin Sexton said, fine, nobody wants me. Nobody wanted me in the offseason, right? I got traded to the fucking Utah Jazz, who are now about to be the worst team in the NBA. All right, I'm going to go out and ball. Lauri Markkanen says, Cavs, 1 year, right? Then you trade me away. You're going to treat me like that? I just went off for Finland, and now I'm feeling really confident. He comes out and balls. Town Horton Tucker says, ha, everyone's making fun of me. I just need to get out of LA. I'm about to turn into a really good player. Mike Conley says, everyone thinks I'm washed. Watch this. Their new coach turns out to be the best coach in the NBA. Abaji looks like a really good rookie. Walker Kessler is the rim protector he looked like he was in college. Jordan Clarkson says, I want to get traded. I got to put up numbers. Utah has as many white people as Finland, so he might thrive. All that happens and they are 13. They're bad. Yeah, they're bad. I'm sorry. See, at least with the Thunder, I can say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, there's an all-star. You know, there's like an all-star level player for sure there. I've seen it. Oh, here they are. Here they are. What up, CJ? Here we go. Can they finish as the 1 seed? I don't think they can finish as the 1 seed. I gotta take a realistic look at this. I said realistic. I don't think they can finish as the 1 seed. I just don't. Two. The Mavs have improved in seeding every single year in Luka's career. They were a 4 seed last year. They have quite possibly the best player in basketball. Perhaps the greatest engine in basketball. The best offensive engine in basketball. They addressed their weakest position and improved it tremendously. They have one of the best wing defenders in all of basketball, Dorian Finney-Smith. One of the best point of attack defenders in basketball, Reggie Bullock. Also a good wing defender. Maxi Kleber is one of the most versatile bigs in the league. One of the best perimeter defending bigs in the league. Great shot blocker as well. Christian Wood's offensive upside is tremendous next to Luka Doncic. Jaden Hardy, his bag's not normal for a second rounder. Josh Green, did you watch the fucking practice today? God damn it. All right, moving on. Houston Rockets. They've gotten better seeding-wise every single year in the league. Every single year Luka's been in the league. Can the Rockets make the play-in? I don't... They need a fucking point guard, man. Who is it? Is it Theo Maladone? Huh? I don't like Kevin Porter Jr. as a fucking point guard. I've said it a million times. You're going to run your offense out of Şengün? That would be nice. Rockets are the best bottom feeder. I don't know if I can see them making the play-in. I gave the Thunder the nod, though, so I feel like I have to give the Rockets. I'll throw them in the 10 to 15 range, too. I'll do the same exact thing I did with the Thunder. 10 to 15. Like, I'll give them that. Jalen Green takes a superstar leap. Like, I'll have to give him it, I guess. I have more confidence in Utah making the play-in than Houston. See, like, here's the thing, right? Utah doesn't have a player with the ceiling on their team currently of Jalen Green. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. I think 15 is way more likely than 10, by the way. Grizzlies. Okay. No Jaren Jackson to start the year. I think that's important. But also, it does kind of sound like he'll be back semi-soon. Like, some people were saying January. It kind of sounds like November is what some people who are close to the Grizzlies are saying, which would be pretty significant. Now, usually there is kind of like a track record. Guys who miss training camp do start the season slow. So maybe that's a thing for Jaren Jackson. Oh man, they're a tough team. Like, somebody has to regress in the West. Like, there's going to be teams who finish lower seeding wise, right? The Clippers are going to finish higher more than likely. The Nuggets will probably finish higher. The Pelicans and Timberwolves, you have to think, are going to finish higher. Somebody's going to have to get knocked down. My pick has always been the Grizzlies, just because it just makes the most sense for them to have a regression. They got some insane years out of some guys, but they kind of have been an insanely well-run organization. The highest I can go with them is probably 3. What's the lowest I'm willing to go with them? I'll go like 7. I think 3 to 7 is good. I can't imagine they're lower than that. But them being like in a play-in team would make some sense. Being in the Rockets, Spurs, OKC division is fire though. True. Like, we got to remember the Grizzlies, Pelicans, and Mavs will benefit from playing the Rockets and Spurs 4 times. Oh, man. Here's another tough one. New Orleans Pelicans. Who's that big boy? I think you're talking about Kenneth Lofton, but they didn't draft him. They also drafted like David Roddy and who was the other guy they drafted? Jake LaRavia. Do the Pels have like a top 2 seed finish? There's a trend in teams who take a big jump in standings as Grizz did last year, falling off next year. That's true. Like, they're the easy pick for me. They just are for a regression. But also, I don't know. I have a question. It's turtle versus tortoises. Which is superior? Asking for a friend. Definitely turtles. I'm annoyed of Pelicans because I think being overhyped. They're good, but not that good. They're definitely getting a ton of hype. And look, I mean, their over is currently sitting at 140. That might be the highest. Like, the public is hammering that over. Yeah, it is the highest. Them and the Raptors. And the Grizzlies. And the Nuggets. Cool to see New Orleans get real hyped though. I'm cool with it. Yeah, I mean, their team is, they're going to be fun as shit to watch no matter what. Do we think there's a world they finish as a 1 seed? Let's just address that. Is that even possible? I don't know if their defense will be good enough. Like, that's kind of the thing. I don't know if their defense will be good enough. The thing is, I can say with the with the Timberwolves, like, there's a world where their defense is good enough. I don't think they'd be a 1 seed either. What about a 2 seed? What if Zion has like a top 3 MVP finish? Yeah, you're right, John. We do have to factor in injuries with Zion. Like, he's one of the guys we are factoring in injuries for. We just have to. Miracle of 2. I think 3 is the highest I can go. I do. But it's very possible. That'd be a massive leap. I mean, we're talking a huge leap. What's the worst case scenario? Zion misses a lot of time. Even if that does happen, you know, they were a play-in team last year. And they made the playoffs and were competitive against the Suns. Without Zion. I really think the lowest I can go with them is like 8. Maybe. Maybe an 8. I think 8 is the absolute lowest I could go for them. And now we close it out with the Spurs, who, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I guess they have the Pop factor, but Pop himself has pretty much said, yeah, we're taking. I'm going literally 14-15. I don't see. Yeah, they're last. 22.5 projected wins. I don't know. I really can't even make an R. 15-15. I've actually thought about doing that, but you can't go that far. But I would be shocked if they were not a bottom 2 team in the West. Absolutely shocked. I don't even think there's where do you even begin an argument for them making the play-in? I actually think they're maybe the only team who don't even have an argument. Maybe them and the Pacers. I thought you were talking about the Spurs for a second. I was like, did I miss a major trade? I think they finished 5-8, but have a stretch where they look unbeatable for a couple weeks. Yeah, I agree. I think they're gonna have some stretches of really fun basketball. So I don't even know if the West makes sense. Like, I don't know if my seeding for the West even makes remote sense. How many teams in the West do I have finishing as a 1 seed? Did Burke, Sterling, and Chris go to OKC in that trade? They did, but I don't know if they might get bought out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 teams that I think can finish as a 1 seed in the West. That's actually insane. Spurs are the kind of team to be a 15 seed with a positive plus minus. They're not going to have a positive plus minus. I will tell you that much. They're going to be very bad. They actually had a positive plus minus last year. What the hell? Would you take Burke back? I mean, sure. Doug McDermott finds magic shoes. like Mike, and they finish the 1st seed. That's what they need. Don't have 18 guaranteed contracts. They need to cut 3. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 of those guys get cut. Aren't they all expiring? Biggest hopes for Mavs, Nets, Pelicans. Nothing going to be more exciting than a tunnel vision Luka, a focused Kyrie, and a healthy Zion. You got money on those guys, frankly? Do you see the Pop interview where he said he won't win the championship this year? Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. Like, it is kind of refreshing when teams come out and they're like, yeah, we're going to be bad. Like, it is what it is. Like, Pirtle's not going to finish the season there. I'd be shocked if he did. I think I saw something on Twitter who was like, yeah, man, you gotta give Pop credit for always finding a way to motivate his team. It's like, no, he's being dead serious. Like, he's not kidding. He's being serious. and they're trying to tank. And they have a nice. Here's the way I feel about the Spurs. They actually have a pretty nice foundation of young talent for a top end prospect like Wembanyama. I'm scared of the Mavs coming up season with those additions for my Nets. Should be scared of the Mavs, man. Again, regulation size basketball here. That actually reminds me. Okay, first and foremost, can we talk about Luka AI? What the fuck is this thing? I don't understand it. This shit is terrifying.
My name is Luca. I live on the second floor. I live upstairs from you. Yes, I think you've seen me before.
Now, I know apparently that's a song. That's lyrics from a song. The replies were hilarious. I'm sure I have heard that song, but still. I don't want a robot Luka to fucking be saying it. Okay? I don't want a robot Luka to tell me he's on the second floor. Guys. Hey, I'm going to be honest. If the Clippers are healthy, I don't know who the hell beats them. I'm just going to be real. Holy shit, man. He is so good. Oh, my. This is how it starts. If Luka is going to end up being an all-time legend, an all-time great, top 20 level player, Mavs, Clippers meet in the playoffs. The Clippers dominate the regular season. Everyone's like, it's over, man. Round 3, Mavs, Clippers. This is finally the year for the Clippers. And Luka somehow pulls out a win. That would be the real beginning of the legend. Last year was great and all. But Mavs, Clippers meeting up again this year. Round 3. It'd be very similar to the Jordan Pistons. Kawhi is just so fucking good. Really is one of the biggest what-if careers. If he plays a full healthy career, I mean, how highly would he rank? Seriously. Like, are we talking like potential? I would say easily top 10. God, he's so good. Holy shit. So good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a great stream. We've had some great streams. And just a reminder, if you guys, didn't catch the whole stream, you can always go back and rewatch them. They are on a playlist, readily available on the channel. We've been having some great streams lately, and we are right around the corner. I will be live on Wednesday for the Mavs preseason game, by the way. So next Monday, we'll be going live normal time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. But Wednesday, it will be when the Mavs play. We are only a few weeks away, guys. It's so exciting. I mean, I'm so excited. The thing I'm excited most about, I don't have to pretend to care about the NFL anymore. I don't fucking care. I would rather watch preseason basketball, which I will do. I think Sunday, the Hornets and somebody else play at noon. I'll be watching that. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. Thank you guys for coming out. It was a fun stream. All of the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Friday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. Great decision on your part. Squiggly, if you're still here, happy birthday. Enjoy your weekend. New subscribers, new members. I promise you guys won't regret it. You guys are at Fan Jam tomorrow. Have fun. I will be there. Don't be afraid to say hi if you see me. I'm pretty recognizable. 6'8". Right. Regulation size basketball. Oops. I'm on the 3rd floor of my apartment, so that probably wasn't good. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you on Monday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet on Monday. We'll figure something out, though. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Goodbye.